Welcome to Soulmate Manifestation Insight Class 3. Now, I always like to put this into context, and I like to introduce myself so that everyone knows who I am, especially if you haven't met me before. Now, I put this class together if you are a single woman who deeply knows she's meant to be with her soulmate. Because when you deeply know it's something that's fundamental to you, it's something that you really want to fulfill on. Now, if nothing is shifting and you feel stuck in any way, this is definitely for you. The insight I'm going to cover today is another eye-opener. It's a little bit deeper than the others, so we're going to take it in bite-sized pieces. But it's all about how, when you understand it, you're going to know how you can attract your soulmate love in a way, and this is something I'm really focused on, in a way that's totally natural and aligned for you. It's going to help you have this deeper understanding of another strategy that's within the process of you becoming the woman who can create her own love story. And when you apply this, it will change everything for you. The way it will change for you is that it will provide you with an incredible insight on your own individual perspective for attracting love and on what is stopping you attracting your soulmate. But first, a little bit about me. I've been captivated, some call it obsessed, by being in love. And it's something that's been with me all my life. And now it's really my soul's mission to impart what I've learned, which is the mastering the art of manifesting relationship dreams into physical reality. That's really important. What we desire or we dream of, we want to be able to manifest it into our physical world. And I'm here to help women who have felt that, which I have, the sting of loneliness, that fear of being single forever. Where is he? When is it going to happen for me? But to transform those fears so they don't rule you anymore into the most extraordinary love stories. And as I go through each soulmate manifestation insight, I'm going to link it, as you know, if you've been on these before, to a client story. Another aspect of what I'd love you to know and just keep in mind about myself is I'm an advanced practitioner in transformational therapy. I learned from the best, Marissa Peer. You may have heard of her. And I blend the spiritual with the practical because I know, as I was saying earlier, that when we have this desire within us, this dream within us, we want it to be part of our lives. And it's really important to connect to the inner power of our spirit, but to transform what we desire into our everyday living environment. We want this to be real. And that's what I really focus on with my clients, and also to enable my clients to have their own quantum shifts. So they're both empowered and enabled to attract love and create their own love stories in this lifetime. That, again, is really important. We want it now, or as close to now as possible. Okay, so for the insight today, I'm going to discuss shifting blocks to attract love. This could be days of discussion, but I've narrowed it right down to have it within this hour to give you the poignant understanding of what this shifting is. What this shifting is, because people talk about it, but we need to understand it. Now, it is a pretty huge subject, and having a block is a huge barrier. But let's break it down in a way that you may not have heard spoken about before. Now, there's three parts to this. The first part is the type of block that's stopping you from attracting love. What is it? And you may have an inkling, but it can be put into two types. It's something conscious, so you're really aware of it, or it's something subconscious and you just can't get to the bottom of it. Now, if you are conscious of it, you know what it is, but things may still not be changing for you. And if it's subconscious, it's hidden within you, is just not quite making sense, and therefore you don't know what to do. And that keeps you stuck. So I support clients to access their subconscious beliefs through hypnotic induction. That can be in a group setting or in one-on-one. So the first part of this shift is just knowing there's the conscious and the subconscious. And within that, there is something that isn't working for you now in a way that you need it to for you to be able to attract love. And I'll come to the part that doesn't get spoken about, and I'll tell you when I come to it. But first, what I want to do is ask a couple of questions. And I want you to listen to both the questions and then answer which one applies to you. So the first question is there anyone here who feels that there is something you are not aware of that is stopping you from attracting your soulmate? If that's you, not aware of, you're going to put number 1 in the chat. If there's anyone here that feels there is something you are aware of that is stopping you from attracting love, but nothing is changing for you, you're going to put a 2 in the chat, because then I can just see where you're at. Okay, great. So you're aware of something, but nothing's changing for you. What I'm about to say in this lesson may give you that insight, that understanding. Anyone else brave enough? Okay, you feel it's 1 and 2. There's some things you are aware of and some things you're not aware of. Great. Again, you'll get a good insight today. Anybody else? It's afternoon in the UK, so we're having afternoon tea. Okay, so and you may, great, another, oh, fantastic. 1 and 2. Yes, so some of you know something and some of you know there's something stopping you, you're unaware what it is. Perfect. Either way, you're going to find something out today. So let's say you become completely aware of your block. So we work with the subconscious and we become aware of what that block is. What now? Well, now this is the second part to this shifting the block. And you'll definitely have heard what I'm about to say. It's said everywhere. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Now, I do not believe that is powerful enough, and I'm going to tell you why. So it's going to come into this really fundamental shift that I want you to hear, which will make all the difference for you. So let's break it down. So in simple terms, knowledge is information, but what you really want from that information is an understanding. And that understanding is about having a deeper comprehension of what is happening and can be more specifically attributed to your own circumstances. And you will get this aha when you go through hypnotic induction, because through hypnotic induction, whether in a group or one-on-one, enables you to bypass your own conscious mind and tap into your own subconscious, which is where the answers are. So even though some of you say, well, I think I know some of the things that are stopping me, but I'm still stuck, there's going to be something underneath what you know. There's going to be the aha for you have to have the realization of why you've kept stuck. So let's just go a little bit deeper. So when you have this understanding, this awareness that is specific for you, and what I mean by this is 2 or more women can have the exact same experience, but the effects can be totally different to each woman. And that's why you need your own understanding. I'm going to put this in a bit of context. And I'm making this up. So I'm not selecting anyone that I know here. I'm just making this up as an example. There could be a few of us that have been in a situation where the father, the masculine, left home early or left the mother early. Maybe you were 3 years old, 4 years old, you were really young and he left. Now, one of us could be, whenever I meet a man, I'm so scared he's going to abandon me. And that's keeping us stuck. We're protecting ourselves, and hence we're not meeting a soulmate. Another one of you could be, yeah, my father left home early, left my mother, and my mother was so distraught, she painted every man, tarnished every man with the same brush. Men will leave you. And so you feel every single man that you meet is a potential man that will leave you. And so you don't get into a relationship. Now, another woman, it could be that it doesn't affect them in the same way as the first 2, but you're still worried about meeting your soulmate because you know at some point maybe they'll leave you, and you may end up meeting different men, and it starts off really good. Potentially they are your soulmate, and then up comes the subconscious belief of he will leave me at some point, and then he does. So you've got somewhere down the line, but not fully down the line to be with the love of your life for the long term. So that's why I say, when you have this, knowledge is power, but when that knowledge becomes an understanding or an awareness that is pertinent to you and your specific situation, that is when you can start shifting, because the awareness is specific to your situation. So yes, you can start there, but I want to get to the crux of shifting blocks. So let's just look at that again so that we can take it into the flow of understanding. Knowledge is powerful information. Yeah. Awareness specific to you is powerful understanding. But until you shift energetically, nothing changes. And that is why so many women do so much work on themselves, including me when I was single, and nothing shifts, nothing changes. Because the biggest shift of all is when you use your awareness, that understanding, to shift your energy. So knowledge is power is only one part of having the shift of your block. It's when you can take that knowledge, convert it into an awareness that's specific to you. Now you're empowered. And when you're empowered, you can start to shift your vibrational energy. Now we know energy is vibration, and we know energy vibrates and emanates through us and out into the universe. And we know it is linked to our own beliefs and our own feelings. So if you subconsciously believe you are unworthy of love, what are you emanating out? The vibration is of unworthiness, and you'll create a relationship life that reflects unworthiness. But when you energetically vibrate as the woman who is with her soulmate, you will create a life that reflects exactly that. So in other words, you energetically shift when you no longer come from your old way of being, which is from an old form of a limited understanding. And you can only do this when you have that deeper understanding and awareness of what stopped you specifically not attracting your soulmate. I'm going to put it a slightly different way, because we all take information in differently. But another way, knowledge is only one part of power. So when everyone says knowledge is power, no, knowledge is only one part of power. This is what people don't talk about. The real part of power is the shift of your energy. And you can only shift your energy because you have the knowledge. And in between knowledge and shifting your energy is an awareness and understanding that is specific to your own situation. And that is how you powerfully shift your blocks. Anyone have that? Oh gosh, now I've got it. Now I can see the missing link, or a little extra aha that you weren't aware of before in shifting blocks. If you have, put why. If you've got any questions, let's answer some now before I move on. What I do want to move on to, and I'll keep looking in the chat, is there's a process to creating your own energetic shift from where you are now, single, to being with your soulmate. And the main part of this is when you can tap into and to command your own power. We are super powerful, and this is super exciting. That's amazing, Liz. Liz has said something profound for herself. She's realized that she's been I'm getting a few now, been vibrating the same energy instead of vibrating as if she had her soulmate. Yeah, because if you've got the knowledge and you're still vibrating as, I understand, but I'm still the single person, nothing's changed. It's when you've got the knowledge, you apply it to your own understanding and you start shifting your energy, that's when things start to change. Oh, that's amazing, Nicola. What I've said has completely resonated. It's so good when you get that little depth of understanding, because now you're open for the shifts. Yep, focused on not having anyone versus focusing on I already am with someone. I'm just going to read this one. Isn't the energy shift also related to daily movements in the body to release emotions and fears? I love that one. I'm going to answer that, but that could be another subject. You're so right that the energy shift has to be within the body. It's not just a thinking shift. It's a fundamental internal shift that shifts our behavior. Now, we can create that energetic shift through movement. You're right. Movement will allow it to come into the body, but we need to have the shift and we need to have the understanding to create the right shift for us. You can also, yes, releasing emotions, releasing fears is also important because we want to pull out of us the fears that are keeping us in a certain state of being, which I talked about in another one of these insights. We want to change our state of being to being the woman who is with her soulmate. And we need to uncover those fears. Now, I work differently because there's two ways of doing this. Therapy or counseling or things sort of that go deep into us can help us uncover those fears. I'm at the next stage. I work with women who've virtually got there, but there's just something stopping them because we're working on the manifestation process. And within the manifestation process, we are digging deep and we're going to find that last fundamental block. But we're not doing therapy where it sometimes needs to take a slower, gentle amount of time to uncover things. We're at the next stage. And I will show you that slightly later. And I've got this, it's for you to make small changes, and that opens you up to being. Exactly. As you make those changes, you are opening up naturally. This is a natural process to being naturally the woman who's with her soulmate. Yeah, I knew this is a lovely one. We also have to stop seeing being single as something unsuccessful or negative. We are single, enjoying our life, and when the soulmate comes along, it is the cherry on the cake. Okay, I agree with the beginning and I don't agree with the end. Being single is absolutely fine, and we can be happy, really happy, or happy to an extent being single. It's not about when the soulmate comes along. It's about, am I ready to allow my soulmate to come along because I want to be with him in the moment of now. Not now, but in the moment of now. And it's a cherry on the cake. It depends. For me, I didn't want to be single. And to be quite honest, I didn't like being single. It wasn't me. It's not actually who I am. So we have to be very honorable to ourselves. Some of us are fine being single for a while and then we're ready for a soulmate. Others, like me, no, I wasn't fine. It's never been me. I didn't want it. I would never want it. And I knew being with my soulmate wasn't the cherry on the cake. It was a fundamental cake for me. So it's just allowing ourselves to understand where we are at in that process. There's no wrong or right, but the most important thing is we have a choice to decide the moments now. I now want to be the woman who attracts my soulmate. Hasn't happened, and there's something I need to shift, to do, to understand, to emanate, to vibrate from, to be able to be that woman who is empowered in herself to be able to attract her soulmate soon. I tend to say in the now, because once we've done everything that we need to do to become the woman who's with her soulmate, that's the empowerment of this type of manifestation. I call it creation work. No. So somebody said, if I'm embodying that I am with my person, wouldn't that repel a potential man? He might think that I'm already with someone somehow. No, the vibration is so pure. It's so honest. It's I am with my soulmate, and the right person who matches that energetic match is allowed within your physical environment. When he gets to know you, he knows you're single. He knows you're ready. He knows you're open. It doesn't repel, it attracts. Like attracts like. Men are very instinctive. they'll just go, oh, she's the woman I want. I don't know if she's single or she's with somebody, but she's the type of woman I want. And you get to know them, and then you know he's ready, you're ready. There's also century-long cultural conditioning to feel incomplete without lasting romantic love. Yes, there is a bit. There is. And there's many that are starting to shift that cultural conditioning. It obviously does not mean that a deep, exclusive, lasting relationship is not a major cornerstone of our lives. Yeah. And it's actually all about what we believe. It's how we believe and emanate from that belief that's going to go out into the universe. So let's look at the process for creating your energetic shift from being single to soulmate. The main part of this is, as I said, to command your own power, the empowerment of knowing that you are a powerful woman. And I don't mean like a ruthless woman, I mean powerful, feminine. You have your own strength, you have your own way of being. It's powerful. We're super powerful as women. And when we tune in and connect with our desires and allow ourselves to believe that those desires can manifest, and then we start to energetically vibrate from the manifestation state of being with our soulmate, the power is in your own hands. So let's look at a client story, actually. Let's look at Rita, because I think this will give you a really good understanding. And I've now got to share my screen, which you know I don't like doing. I'm not into the text side, so hold on a second. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, this is Rita. Now, I'm not going to read the whole testimonial. You can if you want, but the important part to take from this is Rita was completely stuck in an old pattern. And she was meeting men, and then it wasn't happening. Meeting men wasn't happening, etc., for quite a long time, well, years. And as she started to have the knowledge and understanding and awareness that was specific to her situation, she started to be able to shift her energetics from it's never going to happen. One of hers was she was frightened she would lose her freedom, having been single for so long. All sorts of things came up for her that we shifted and shifted and shifted. And as she shifted, she started to meet a different, let's call it caliber of man, who were aligned with as she was shifting and growing into her true self. So we're not making ourselves become different. We're tapping into who we truly are and were born to be. And as she shifted, she saw it reflected in the type of men that she met. It was, as she says, incredible. She has now met her soul mate because she shifted into truly being, she put it, feeling totally worthy of being with her soulmate. So let's just get rid of that. So now, because she saw physically the representation of her shifting her energy, she really understood how shifting her blocks was not linked to just understanding, either knowledge. It was the awareness and understanding of that knowledge, and then being able to shift her energetics away from who she was being into being truly herself. So that part of the process is what I call commanding your power. And it is key. Now, there's other parts of the process that I work on. We have, and everything is interrelated. So yes, we want to have clarity and essence on the type of man that is right specifically for us. This is where you become super clear, also energetically, that's the essence, on who he is. And when you are super clear, you're naturally anchoring that clarity, that energetic clarity within you. And that begins the energetic attraction process. You also will want to do what we're talking today, which is about shifting. What's that block? I know it, but I'm not changing, or I don't know what it is, so it's subconscious, so I need to find it. Because you want to unravel what's holding you back specifically for you with knowledge and awareness so that you are able to create your own energetic shift. And this is how you accelerate, as I call it, walking out of your past and creating your new future. It's all energy. You'll also connect to some new inner beliefs, which will energetically propel you forward out of that stuckness, and in a way that is, as I am absolutely focused on, it must be in a way that's natural and aligned for you. Because if it isn't, you're just doing something to try to be somebody who possibly can be with their soulmate. We don't want any of that. We want knowing, and we want certainty, and we want it to feel aligned and true for you. So it's really important that we make it as natural as possible. And at the point your vision is real, is at the point you'll also understand the science and the spirituality that has created your vision. It's the energy of his presence felt by you so that he can physically show up, because you've shifted whatever it is that has kept you stuck. Any questions? Is this making sense? Is this giving you a deeper sense of understanding the process of shifting your blocks? Feeling his energy to attract physical manifestation makes sense to me. I love it. That's really cool, because you're really getting at the depth of this. It certainly has made sense. A lot of things to think about. Yeah, things to think about and things to apply. Because when we go from thinking to application, we're shifting also our behavior. Remember, you've probably heard be, do, have. And without doing, say, the creation or manifestation work, we are always looking at, oh, I need to change what I have. And we're looking outside of ourselves and trying to change the physical. If we're trying to change the physical without shifting the being, our being, it's like pushing water uphill. It's when we are being the woman who is with her soulmate being, we are then doing, which is behaving like the woman who is with her soulmate. And therefore we can have, I call receive, what it is that we are being and behaving as. being the woman who's with her soulmate, behaving as if we're with our soulmate, therefore we can receive being with our soulmate. Something I wanted to show you earlier has just come back to my mind. Just a second. I want to find another pen. Oh, I haven't got another pen. Let's see if I can do it let's do it like this. Hold on. So this is what I'm going to show you. If you haven't seen this before, this will make sense. If you have seen it before, hopefully it reinforces what I'm saying here. If you can see this pen, one end you're single, one end you want to be with your soulmate. And this is sort of the 50% mark here. Now, I'm going to say this and say I've been here. So I'm not calling anyone out here. But if we are in trauma, or if we are disempowered, if we just don't know what's going on with us and we feel that we just want somebody to help us, we're here. Because we're in such a place in ourselves, we just cannot see the way out and we don't know what to do. And something has taken us into a state of anxiety or depression, or we're still in trauma. And therefore we need specialist help, certain type of counseling, a specific type of therapy. That was me. When we're here, we need to honor it, because it is about taking those baby steps to heal ourselves. Now, if we're here to this part, which is where I step in, because when I got to this part, I couldn't find anybody to help me. I'd done therapy for years, and I came out of therapy thinking I've been there, done that, and I met somebody and it still went wrong. Something's not right. So I was willing to take my own responsibility, to do what it takes, because I'm ready to manifest, to create. I work with women who are ready here to take their responsibility, to own where they're at, to do what it takes to manifest and create being with their soulmate. This is my work here. So when you're ready, let's put it this way, to shift, stop, halt, change that never-ending cycle of being single, which was me, by the way, as well. And I did feel lonely because I never wanted to be single. And I did have heartache because, to be quite honest, I hated it. It was never who I was born to be. If we just stay in that cycle, there's a disconnect. And the disconnect was, for me, if I stayed in that cycle, I was never going to find love. And I knew I deserved love. I knew love was my destiny. But when we finally break free from that stuckness, because we're ready to, because we've done enough healing, and we're at that point and go, what's going on? I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to create my life with my soulmate. It's when we find that last final stuck pattern to shifting our blocks that we can have what we desire. Because that is when love isn't going to exist just in your dreams, in your wishing and hoping and desires, because you're now able to manifest with purpose, intention, and your own powerful energy. So it's only at the point of that decision that we are ready to take ownership and responsibility and do the manifestation, creation work, that we can become empowered to be the woman who attracts her soulmate. So I might come back to that. I just want to finish something here, Ariel. So if you want to transform from being single to being with your soulmate, my team, and I checked it, have opened up some space, Cynthia, but I will check that again for a complimentary call, but it's only for a certain type of woman. I'm really clear on who I work with and who I can get over the line from single to being with their soulmate. So it's for you if you want to start your love journey now. Let me put the link in the chat and let me tell you who these calls are for. Put that here so you've got it, so you can grab it. These calls are for the woman who knows it's her destiny. She knows in her heart and her soul, love is for me. I want it no matter what. It's also for the woman who is a high achiever. And the reason I say that is I know that when we are high achievers, we want the best for ourselves as well as other people. But really, we are high achieving women. We want to create the best life, and we won't let ourselves settle for anything less. We won't settle for a single life. We're at the point that we are not going to settle. We are going to create, is what I call it. And this is for the woman who's no longer willing to have whatever else she has in her life without love. There is no substitute for love at this point. You are ready. And I call it to not sacrifice. You're ready to have it all. You're the high achiever. And this is a woman who won't give up until she's fulfilled her dream. And let me tell you why. Every single woman I've worked with who has kept going and pushed a bit is now with the love of her life. I think I mentioned this yesterday, and I will mention it as much as I can because things change. Over the last 6 months, I've had 100% success rate. Now, will that last forever? Well, my intention is that it will, but of course it can swing a little bit. 2 years ago, I'd have been saying 70%. A year ago, I've been saying 80%. Now, yes, it does swing. At the moment, it's a full-on 100. It is extraordinary because the women I work with, I'm not going to give up. We're shifting and turning and creating and energetically becoming the match for soulmates. Now, if Cynthia said you couldn't find a time, I will have a look at that again. If you can't find a time that suits you, even though I did check the diary and we had opened up Monday next week or this coming week and a little bit of Tuesday and Wednesday, email us on any of the emails that you've received for this particular live, and I or my team will get back to you. I want you to be my next success love story. That is important to me. Let me answer. I can answer some more questions. We've got a little bit more time. Let me put the link in the chat again so you've got it. And let's see what questions we've got before I close. There was a long one, so let me see if I can find it. So someone put me in contact with one of her neighbours as he is single and comes from the same country as I do. After meeting this man for the first time during a 1.5-hour coffee break, he asked me if he could kiss me. I was surprised as I did not feel there was any special connection on both sides, both ways, and I felt I needed time to feel attracted to him. So I answered, no, I've just met you. He replied, we have passed that age. Not sure what he meant. I replied that he did not believe it's about our age, but about taking time to get to know someone before kissing or hugging. Does it make sense that he sounded surprised? I needed to find more about his values and personality to get physically closer. You are so spot on. Absolutely not. You do not need to kiss somebody before you're ready, first of all, and certainly not on a first date. And certainly there is no age to going beyond something. His insecurity came right out almost as a defensive response to you. He's got something to work on. So if he's got something to work on, you could say to yourself, he's got something to work on, so he's not ready for me. Now, you felt there wasn't a connection anyway, so in a way, you could probably just let it go. But he is not mature enough to understand that it is about getting to know somebody exactly as you said. You've got it spot on. You're absolutely right in what you said. I'm really proud of you. Yeah, time to get to know somebody is really important. And when you get to know somebody, this is the point of all of this, is what you don't want to waste your time on guys that aren't right. You want to have a deep connection as soon as you can. I'm not saying you have to rush it, so that you know that there's something worthy in that relationship, that you're getting to know this person at your own pace. That's another part of self-empowerment. And when we shift our blocks, we are less insecure. We start to have seeing our self-worth and self-value grow. And when it grows, we're much more in command of who we are. And we can say, no, that's not right for me. That's too soon. And the right guy will respect it. Love is everywhere, from friends, family, community, nature, pets, the divine, a spouse is everywhere. Love is everywhere. It's about us individually connecting to the soulmate love that we desire. Anything else? Let's see. What if my pace is a lot quicker than his? Do I slow down for him or do I honor my pace? Balance, balance. Just because you want him to honor you, so therefore honor him. And as we get into a soulmate relationship, and a soulmate relationship, you're connected deeply. You grow, he grows. He grows, you grow. Sometimes you grow together. But it just allow it to, for you and him to connect. And if he needs it slower, allow it. But if you sense he's holding back, he needs it slower, and something doesn't feel right with that approach, then maybe it's a signal to say, actually, he's not right. But it is about getting to know each other. Perfect. So, the most amazing feeling about being with your soulmate is that you are in a beautiful connection with each other. And when you're in that connection, as I was saying earlier, you grow together. One might grow more than the other, and then you meet again. It's all about growth and expansion to being the best version of yourself and within the relationship. The other thing that's most amazing about being with your soulmate is that it is a partnership. It is, I support him, he supports me. I value where he's at, he values where I'm at. I've got his back if he needs it, he's got my back if I need it. And it's supporting each other through all parts of life, all parts of growth, all parts of maybe business, all parts of how you're creating your home together, supporting each other. The teasing and connection process is also part of getting to know someone. Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it's lovely. I remember when I first met my soulmate, I had this is something I do with my clients, is we do an exercise called Predict Your Desire Intention. And one of my predictions was, and I hadn't met him, by the way, when I meet him, I would love to have that moment where we're cooking together, maybe some pasta or something, drinking some wine or some Prosecco. It's in the winter. The candles are on the window ledge. It's really cold and dark outside, and we're in the warm kitchen. And we are teasing each other. We're being cheeky. We're cooking. We're laughing. We're doing something together. We're connecting. And that is exactly what happened. It's all about also having that light-hearted moment about being able to connect. There's a deep connection, there's the humorous connection, there's the teasing connection, there's the frizz-on connection, there's a connection of the mind, the connection of the body, the connection of the emotions, the connection of the soul. All of that comes within the relationship of a soulmate. Yes, Nicholas saying, I want that. And that is what you create. That's what manifesting is all about, creating what you desire. So if that's what you want, the best way I can describe it is it's fulfilling on your truth. And when you fulfill on your truth, it's like coming home to yourself. Everything about it feels right. You feel so connected within yourself, within your higher self, and with him. So you're in control of your own destiny, absolutely. Nobody realizes how powerful they are. Absolutely right. And you just need to unlock your barriers. Yes, today we're talking about shifting the blocks, which can be termed unlocking barriers, finding the fears that are stopping you, the limiting beliefs, shifting them so there's a complete understanding and awareness that's specific to you so that you are empowered to energetically shift from where you've been to who you truly are. You're going to visualize the kitchen scene. I love it. Yeah, but whatever you want is about predicting what you want. And that's something I do with clients called predicting your desire. So if you want to fulfill on your desire, this is the link. I'm going to check that we have opened up space for a few calls. I am going to be honest, I am hugely busy and there is very limited space. So we juggled my diary around to give some space for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, because I've been told somebody can't find some space. I'm going to check on that. But please book up if you want to have a complimentary call, if you are ready to invest your time, your energy, yourself. Obviously, it's a monetary investment as well. If we feel that we're a fit to one of my programs that can help you create your love story. So let me part on these words before I see you again, hopefully tomorrow, same time, same place for the next insight. Huge love is waiting on you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow and have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are.